Welcome to the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Investing Podcast with your hosts, Jack and Michelle Bosch. Together, let's uncover the secrets to building true wealth through real estate and living a purpose-driven life.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the podcast. Michelle Bosch here, your host for today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to really let me into your space, into your world, into your mind weekly. I recognize I have been not lazy, but I have been a little bit of MIA for the last few weeks. We actually took an amazing summer vacation out in Maui, Hawaii. It was definitely necessary. We needed family time, rest time. I hope you guys are having an amazing summer. You know, at the time of this recording, we're already into August. Pretty much the second half of 2022 is underway. And if you are already a land flipper or are looking into land flipping, I want to invite you to join us. We're having our Land Profit Masterclass, our most hands-on workshop, starting right now on August 8th. 9 a.m. Pacific every single day. You can register for that at landprofitmaster.com, landprofitmaster.com. We would love to have you. We're going to be talking about not just how to fund and close deals and get money in the bank, but also talking about the adjustments that are going to be necessary in the new market that we are at when, you know, things have changed market-wise. Seller mentality, you know, has changed a little bit. Buyer mentality has changed. And we want you to always be at the cutting edge, always at the forefront in this community, in the Land Profit Generator community. So definitely join us. Today's episode, you know, as a result of having some pause and some time for rest, during the summer, I recognize that we usually talk about two kinds of imposter syndromes. And the very first kind, I think you guys are probably very familiar with. And that is when you have possibly, I don't know, maybe stepped into a role, into a new career, into a new job, and you don't feel quite ready for it. You feel a little bit uncertain. You feel like, you know, you're missing your feet underneath you. It feels wobbly. And so you start telling yourself, well, this sounds scary. I'm going to muster the courage. I'm going to still take the bull by the horns, and I'm going to fake it till I make it. And it's because you are transitioning from the identity of the person that wasn't in that opportunity or in that new up-leveled job or career or whatever it is, you know, and it takes a little bit of time for us to grow into a new role, into a new identity, into a new project, into a new level of property that we're going to go after. You know, at some point, maybe in the beginning of your career, you here in the land flipping world, you were okay with doing $3,000 flips, then 5,000, then 10, then 20, then 30, then 50. Eventually, you're like, okay, my goodness, it's the same work that I'm doing for the $5,000, you know, profit splits for the $100,000. And you realize that there's nuances and changes, and you know that you have to pivot and adjust, and you have to grow into those new ways of talking to your seller, which is going to be a much more sophisticated seller. And so you feel a little bit wobbly, a little bit overstretched, a little bit stressed, you know, if you're on the phone with a seller or a buyer of higher price properties. And that's natural. We have all felt that, you know, that type of, you know, imposter syndrome when you commit to a new goal, a new level, and it's normal. Yeah. And for me, you know, in the past, when I have felt this, the only way to really get rid of this imposter syndrome feeling is really to just do the work. Yeah. And to go through it. Yeah. To go through that commitment, to go through whatever challenge you're having, or through whatever up leveling you're going through. And I have done that through actually doing the work, you know, getting the training, doubling down on my skills, on my efforts, on my gifts, on my skills, learning new skills, you know. For a lot of you that have come to land flipping without any, you know, prior experience, it's exactly what you have been feeling. You know, you have been feeling a little wobbly. You have been coming to us from being a person that had a W-2 job and now all of a sudden is having to think like a business owner, act like a business owner, and make decisions like a business owner. And it can feel a little bit strange in the beginning as we are really growing into that new identity of a CEO, of a business owner in the land flipping space. So totally normal, yeah? And so at some point, you're on the other end of that and you feel, okay, I have the capabilities. You rest in the strength of those capabilities, of that new level of confidence that you might have. And you do your first, 6-figure land flip, and then the second, and then the third. And, or if it's not 6-figure, your first 20,000, if you've been playing in the small arena of $3,000 and $5,000 flips, you start playing in the larger arena. Totally normal. But believe it or not, there's a second kind of imposter syndrome, and it's one that is not very much talked about. And I have personally experienced and gone through this where I recognize, this summer that I was basically really in that space, of this second type of feeling. And this second type of imposter syndrome really goes something along the lines of this. You are in a job, in a peer group, in a relationship, in an environment, maybe it's a home actually, even where that you have outgrown it. And it's really weird because you show up to this thing, to this commitment, to this, to work. And you're feeling like, what? I feel like I'm just not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be doing this anymore. My vision has expanded. My skills are better than ever. They are not being utilized to the maximum potential here. And you feel, you have this sense of like, you're feeling like unfulfilled potential. Yeah. And so you end up feeling held back. You end up feeling restricted, and that you need to break out of it. Maybe it's a toxic relationship. Like I said, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a project, maybe it's an environment, a group of peers, and you need to break out, but you do nothing. You do nothing and you pretend like everything is cool. I wonder if this has ever happened to you. Has that ever happened to you guys? You continue to pretend that you're happy when in reality, deep inside, you just want to get away. You're feeling dead inside, and getting to that next level. Right before you get to that next level, you're in this, gap where, you shouldn't be there, but you're a little bit, scared to recognize that you're going to have to be making a move, and it's going to have to be a swift move. And so the reason, again, while you're feeling uncomfortable, is because, and you're feeling maybe not just uncomfortable, but maybe numb inside, is because you recognize that the identity that you're living right now no longer really is you, that really no longer fits a bigger vision, a much expander vision that you have, for yourself. And so if that's you, I'm here to say that you need to take that bold move. You need to make whatever transition is needed. You need to leave that relationship. You need to start looking for a new home. You need to start looking for a new city. If it's, location wise, you need to quit that job because your heart is no longer in it. Yeah. And it's going to sap your soul of energy. Why continue to engage in a commitment that instead of energizing you, deplete you? And it's a fine line of really quitting right before you strike gold. So this is not what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about just that sometimes when we feel discomfort of up leveling that we quit at the smallest, sign of an obstacle. I'm talking about here, you've been at this and that you're done. And, this is how Jack and I felt when we had our jobs, our corporate jobs. We knew that we were meant for more, that our skills that we were using in that job were not really being utilized, that our skills that we possess weren't being utilized in that job for allowing us to really continue to grow and evolve. And we were feeling really comfortably miserable. That's how, Jack and I like to describe it, with high-paying jobs that paid the bills, but where we really didn't get ahead in our own personal growth and in our financial growth as a family. Yeah. And we were faking it, by showing up every single day and pretending like everything was okay when in fact it wasn't. There was a period of time there where we couldn't just leave those jobs because our green cards depended on that. But there was a space, a little bit of, of a few months, 2 to 3 months, where we already had our green cards, and yet that false sense of security, of having the security of a job, was still, part of our modus operandus. But at the same time, when we showed up, to work every single day at the office, we knew that we were done, and we were pretending that everything was okay when in fact our future in our minds was brighter, bigger, expanded, and it really didn't fit, that job anymore. So for us, it was time, to leave that job. For you, it may be the same. It may be leaving the job. Maybe it's getting out of that toxic relationship. Maybe is changing to a different city, where you feel alive. Maybe it's changing a home, buying a new home because your existing one you've outgrown. Maybe it's putting yourself in a new environment, in a new group of peers, because the ones that you have right now, again, you have also outgrown those peers. And if you don't free up your time, your energy, your headspace, like I said earlier, it's going to kind of like eat at your soul, and you're never going to really feel fulfilled because you're faking it. And so this is also a second type of imposter syndrome. Yeah. And so go for that bigger vision. Go for that bigger future. Don't dim your light. Are you biting your tongue right now? Are you right now not saying the things that you should be saying? Are you doing things that you shouldn't be doing anymore at your job? Are you, in an environment that is not good for you, that it doesn't bring the best of you, and yet you continue to be there? It's going to require that you take action, that you have faith, that you trust yourself, that you lean in a time when, people, the entire world is looking for validation, is looking from someone else to tell them what they're worth. I'm here to tell you, you are worth it. So lean in, trust yourself, make the decision. I know that if you have been part of our Land Profit Generator community, you know that we have been in full bloom here with the Land Profit Masterclass, and that we have extended, an offer for those of you that would like to join us inside of our 12-month incubator, at the Harvard of Land Flipping, to come and join us, to go ahead and book a call. You can go to landcoaching.com. And if this is how you feel right now, either in an environment, in a career, in a situation where you can't continue pretending like you're happy because you're not, then it's time to up level. It's time to lean in. It's time to trust yourself. And it's time to really give yourself that gift of that space in order for you to capitalize on a new opportunity that is here, that is tapping at your door. Sometimes we forget that we are the CEOs, not just of our businesses, but the CEOs of our lives. And that it's up to us to decide when enough is enough. And move forward in faith. This is something that we live by here in the Land Profit Generator world. And in order to make decisions every day that are going to allow us to continue to grow in excellence, as human beings and as business owners. If this is you, I'm here to say, and you've been thinking about land flipping, it's been in the back of your mind. Maybe you've attended several master classes. Maybe you now see, that there's people coming back that attended with you and are already doing, 50, they're on track to their first 6 figures with land flipping, and you're still, doing the same old that you're doing, I'm here to tell you, this is your chance. This is your moment of opportunity. This is the day to finally step into that vision, to be okay with feeling a little wobbly and making that decision anyways, and going to landcoaching.com and booking a call with one of our land experts and talking about it. And because it needs to be a good fit for us as well. It takes 2 people to tango. And in order for us to continue being the Harvard of land flipping and having the results that we that we have right now with our students, it requires a certain type of person, a person that is brave enough to basically recognize that they're living in an imposter syndrome situation, and they're ready to really make a move and change things for the better. Yeah. So that's you. We would love to talk to you. We would love to, spend time with you and see if we're fit for each other. And so I hope that today's episode, guys, about imposter syndrome, that there's two. There's usually, a lot of talk about the first one, but very little talk about the second one, because we become part of the matrix. Yeah, we become part of the system where, it kind of like we are hypnotized to continue showing up for something, even though we know that it's killing us inside. Yeah. And so no more of that. You guys, if you're listening still to this, you recognize that you are not that person. And we would love to have you. There's very few things that are more painful than, pretending to be someone that you're not. And so I want you to live authentically. I want you to, if you're holding yourself back, not do that anymore. I know that you're much bigger than you are allowing yourself to be. And you may be holding yourself back right now, in a small experience. And I want you to recapture parts of yourself that were forgotten, that were dead inside. And I want you to fall in love with yourself again. I just was in an interview with one of our prior, our existing coaching students. She's in our 12-month program. Her name is Mahelani, and she was in a masterclass just like you guys, probably are if you are, registered on that. And she said, Michelle, I already have about 55 grand in the bank. I have another 5 lots in escrow that are going to make me another 50. So I'm on track, already for $100,000. And I have fallen in love with myself again. She feels so empowered by her ability to create incredible lips and income in a very short period of time. And she's like, I have fallen in love with my growth, with who I am again, with the potential that is inside of me. And I want that so very much for you as well. So with that, guys, take action. Don't stay in the gap. The second half of 2022 is underway. Life is short. Don't hold yourself back. You owe it to yourself to take clues, to take bold action. If we are for you and you've been thinking about land flipping, book a call with us. If not, I will see you at the next episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for letting me into your space, into your world, and just really allowing me to reach your mind, reach your heart, and be transformational and of service to you and your family. Thank you very much. And until the next one.